So good morning and welcome to a blustery morning but brightening. It's the 1st of November, it's a Sunday. I'm at Paddy's Lane, as you can maybe see, and yes, there is a bit of wind in the air today. It is currently 23 minutes past 7 and it's the morning after the night before, so basically, you know, Boris Johnson has announced that we're going into a second national lockdown. And so at a little bit of a win last night, I decided, you know what I'm going to do? I'll try and do a video. I'll stay still, won't I? It'll be easier for you guys. I'll do a video of the tranquil scenes of the Norfolk Broads that we can look back on when we're stuck indoors, or those people that had their holidays cancelled, or those people, you know, who own boats that had plans to come down and you know, enjoy watching this lovely landscape. And then I thought about it after I posted that video, and I thought, don't be stupid, Rob. That's going to be you on top of the boat with your mobile phone in the wind with terrible noise on the microphones and going, and look at this. And people like, tranquil, relaxing. Yeah, nah. So what I'm going to do is, I've got a plan, and I'm going to take you along. So we're going to have a little bit of well, I say I'm going to take you along, I might not, I don't know, I just got this feeling. I'm in a bit of a perky happy mood this morning, but I'm going to take you along. We're going to go back, we're going to do some laundry, we're going to go shopping. That's if there's stuff on the shelves still after last night's announcement. Everybody ran out and cleared the shelves again. We're going to come back here on this boat. We're going to have some camera equipment with us. We're even going to have my Rode mic with the dead cat to try and muffle out some of the wind noise. Might even break out a tripod and some action cameras. But how do I get all of that lovely footage onto YouTube for you to watch? Well, then I'm going to try and get a video editing software. So my tool of choice, Cyberlink Power Director 360. Yes, I'm sure I'm going to hate it. I remember years and years ago I tried it, and I tried a trial of Power Director and I screamed. But it's cheap, and it will probably work on my laptop. So then I can do a bit of like real old school rascal editing, like where I used to do back in 2011, of filming something and then looking at it on the boat and editing on the boat. I'm not going to be publishing to YouTube from the boat. I think that would be, you know, asking a bit too much of me. You know, I'm not that motivated. But yeah, back in the old day of what was it, Windows Movie Maker and stuff like this, and you know, will my data last while we went out to the pub while it uploaded to YouTube, or would the inverter battery die on commanding light from Herbert Woods that was running the laptop before it finished uploading to YouTube? It was always an interesting combination. But yeah, so that's what's going on. So yeah, we're going into another national lockdown. It seems to be as divisive as ever. Even in the YouTube comments on my boating channel, everybody's either of the opinion that it's a good thing, a bad thing, or just basically not a thing. Some people say there is no virus, some people say there is a virus but it's not that bad and we shouldn't be in a lockdown, and it's all lies and the government saying this, that and all the rest of it. I personally don't really care, you know, and that is, I guess, the problem in this country over a number of issues, is the general population don't care enough to take any action either which way. It's why we struggle to vote in things, and even when we do vote in things, let's take Brexit. I mean, you couldn't make it up really, could you? It was almost, you know, 50-50 divide between those that wanted it and those that didn't want it. So we couldn't even really agree. You know, if it was like 80% for and 20% against, you'd be like, yeah, fair enough. We, as a nation, we all agreed on that, I think we can say, generally speaking. But no, we couldn't agree on that. And so, yeah, I think, you know, that whilst there are a lot of people going around and saying you've been brainwashed and mistruths about this and that, and that's great, they've got their opinions and views and all the rest of it, there ain't enough of them, basically. And I think I speak for the majority there that we're just a bit lazy and go, oh well, you know. It'd be like, it's like the Broads tolls when people say, oh, the tolls have gone up another 3% this year, or they've gone up 5%, that's more than inflation. What you're doing, Broads Authority, enough's enough. We're not going to, if us private boat owners all got together and didn't pay our tolls, what the Broads Authority do then? Yes, well, it's like the sketch from The Life of Brian, you know, what did the Romans ever do for us? But at the end of the day, people then go and pay their tolls, and the odd person maybe won't, or will, you know, give the Broads Authority a really hard time over it. But again, not enough people actually take action or care, and they just go, alright, yep, yes sir, I'll pay, there we go. I'll moan about it, I'll have my views, but I will not change. And on that note, I think we better end this little video. I'm going to see if I can take you on this little trip, stick you up in the mobile phone holder. Oh god, yeah, have I got any camera mounts? It's been so long! I'm not sure if they're in storage. They've got so much in storage. So I'll have to actually see what I've got around, and see if we can mount something up. I'm a bit worried that maybe if I have, you know, the suction cups, they kind of go a bit funny and yellow, and you haven't used them and they've just been laying around for a few years. They might not suction on. By the way, if you're in the market for a really decent mobile phone holder for your windscreen, this is quite expensive, but works really well. Belkin, and they do one where this is a charging plate, and you just plug the small USB in, and then when you put your phone in, if it's wireless charging, it will start charging in the cradle. So that's handy. This one's not a nice dumb one, but it's robust. So yes, let's get moving. So as you can see, we're just underway, heading upstream on the river, and already I'm just getting the feeling of like, let's imagine if this national lockdown that we're approaching isn't the last, and it might not be, but I don't know how to put this. It's like, as the year comes to a close and the leaves fall from the trees, it already feels bleaker. The Broads is going back to sleep again, and just because there isn't activity, you know, on Wednesday, Thursday, I came past here and they'd be like hire boats all wild moored every, you know, there was one there moored there. On Tuesday, you know, the next wild mooring up the way again, there was another boat there, and now there's nobody. So it's already got that feel of like everyone's scurried away somewhere. But I think what I regret last year was in November, in December, I didn't actually come out at all boating, and I don't know why. Yeah, what the hell was going on there? So hello again, once again we're in the car jostling around. Hopefully the quality will be better this time and I won't accidentally somehow upload footage in 360p. However, because it's quite dull outside and the shutter lag on the camera, it will mean that probably the vibrations and movements are more apparent. So just left Stalham, just left Richardson's, and the reason why I've just hit record is because I can't believe how a few days make such a difference. So this has nothing to do with the forthcoming lockdown again, but you know, earlier last week that yard of boats was almost empty. You know, my last proper little vlog, when we arrived at Richardson's, you would have seen how busy the car park was, and you know, all the boats there and everything else. And today, all of the Ideal 45, so that's going to be your Acapulco's, Pink, White, Champagne, Challenger, etc. They're all moored up on the far bank. A lot of them have got their soft furnishings, curtains removed. They're already sort of on their way to hibernation and winterization. and countless other boats all moored up, again devoid of curtains. So Richardson's, you know, they knew what boats they had coming back. They knew what bookings they would have had, because they were opening longer into the 28th of November this year, I think. But they just got such a slick operation that all those boats came back, and then the staff was straight on stripping them and you know, getting them ready for the winter kind of thing. So right now what we're doing is we're going to be heading back a slightly different route though. We're going to be going through Wroxham and then NDR, otherwise now officially known as the Broadland Northway. I've got to get shopping, do some laundry, get some diesel for the boat, just because it was absolutely brimmed, and it'd be nice to keep it that way, especially over winter, and just replenish what I've used in the last few days. It's kind of strange when you're cruising along at 4 miles an hour on the right hand side of a river to get into a car and drive on the left of the road doing 50. But anyway, I won't you know, bore you with a long road trip, but I will update you in a while. More as it happens. So hello and welcome to the Broadland Northway. It feels like it's like 4 in the afternoon and it's getting dark. It's 9:35 in the morning and everybody's got their headlights on, and it just feels really dull and horrible. Blustery, but not far to go. Stretch of road this though, very smooth, quiet. Although people tend to forget how to use the roundabouts, so many crashes and cars that end up, you know, in the middle of them, sort of semi-abandoned. I oiled my seat, it's not creaking, so that's good. And in my first video when I was driving, I was talking about my seat creaking a lot. So coming up to Cucumber Lane, which has always intrigued me. Did they grow cucumbers here or sell them, or I don't know. But I'm actually a bit tempted for a quick drive through McDonald's, sausage egg McMuffin and a coffee. Maybe I should. No. Okay. Don't break your rule of not having a McDonald's. And there's the front door. So, now, laundry, food, shopping. I wish the council would come and do something about this, just this bit of road, you know. everywhere else they've sorted out. Oh god, this one. Anyway, this is supposed to be about boats, isn't it? The Broads, not roads. All that malarkey. Right. I think I'll update you next time when there's a boat in the picture. So, the day continues to get greyer, and yes, this isn't a boat. I said the next time I'd update you there'd be a boat. There isn't. It's the A47. We're heading into Norwich, but we're just passing over the top of the Riviera. So there we go. Oh, it's a bit wobbly. Interesting of note, passing big side winds, not surprising, and a boat going along the river there. So yeah, Rundle Co-op, car park full, lots of people waiting outside. I think it's already begun where everybody's like, getting to the supermarket, quick kind of thing. So that's where we're off to. Get some diesel, get some shopping. Got the laundry in the washing machine already. And then tumble dry that. And then head back to Trixie. So, in this sort of diary format of my day, let's just have a little chat, let's have a little update. So, just been into Sainsbury's. So, I went to Asda for cheap diesel and filled up my jerry can to take to the boat, to fill up the boat with diesel to cover the majority of that which I've used over the last couple of days. And I like to keep the tank full, because then obviously it prevents the build-up of condensation forming in the tank, and that helps prevent water getting in your fuel tank, which then, if water gets in your fuel tank, drips down the side in the form of condensation, forms a barrier between the diesel and the water, and that barrier area is where your diesel bug starts to breed. So I also use a biocidal fuel treatment at every fill up, just to be absolutely sure that that won't happen. And a good little tip as well, especially if you own your own boat, is make sure that your diesel cap especially has a good seal when it's done up. You can buy aftermarket rubber grommets to fit over most threaded diesel caps, which is what I've invested in myself, just to make sure that the seal is complete and absolute, it's not just metal on metal. And while I was at it, I also changed the cap for a locking one. So just some little things that you can do to help make sure your fuel's not going to be nicked. Secondly, try and stop diesel bug forming. So then I went to Sainsbury's because Asda was bonkers busy queuing outside, and I didn't really fancy doing that in the rain. So got to Sainsbury's, no queue outside, but super busy, and the usual suspects getting very thin on the ground. So mince pretty much gone, pasta pretty much gone, apart from pasta sort of shapes, so all your bolognese stuff, your spaghetti gone. Toilet rolls quickly vanishing off the shelves. Tinned goods, people running around like ants trying to get their tinned goods. Eggs, and these supermarkets are not going to be closing, and this is the day after Boris announced that we were going into a lockdown. It's only going to get worse, and it must be worse in bigger cities. And yet everybody will say, wasn't it terrible, these people doing this? What's the matter with them? And yet everyone's doing it. personally, I just got what I need for the next week for the boat and left. So, heading back now, and then it's not looking a very nice day, is it? And how wobbly is this camera mount? So, I've been going through stuff and discovering things. So yeah, there's a lot of history here, and there's a lot missing from the kit, but this is all I've got. So yeah, the rest is in storage. So what I'm really missing though, to be able to make captain's blogs, is SD cards. I've got one 32GB SD card and a heap of dead batteries. So I'm charging some batteries. This here was not the original, but the second ever blog camera. So it is the same as the first blog camera, which survived being rained on overnight on Far Horizon's Flybridge, and I was so excited that I'd rescued it. It's still working despite being wet. It leapt out of my hands when it was open, you know, the lens comes out on these, fell on the floor and damaged the lens, so it wouldn't no longer work. So I was so impressed with it, I got a second one. So this is a Sony DSC WX100. I think it was at the time, could still be, the world's smallest 10x zoom compact camera. So yeah, it's really handy because that's what all of the blogs were really made on until I would say 2013, 14 time. Maybe even a bit after that, maybe 2015. So all the boat reviews, all of the scenic shots, all was shot on this very camera, this tiny little simple camera. And then I upgraded to this. So pleased with Sony, I moved to Sony. And this is a compact system camera, so I can change the lenses on this. And this has 4K recording, but I never bother because if you record in 720p at a very high bit rate, you can still watch that on a smart telly and be perfectly happy with the results, but you massively reduce your burden when you're editing and your storage capacity, even if you're going to be filming in 1080, which I suppose is like the minimum most people would ever bother with now. But loads of YouTubers are filming in 4K, and it's completely pointless because most people play back at most at 1080. So but yeah, this can do 4K, and it's not that good, to be honest with you. It's got a Wi-Fi module in, which I thought would be really good to get footage from the camera, but it's so slow it's ridiculous. It's really slow focus, but it does perform admirably in low light, and it has a much better, obviously, look, the lens compared to tiny, much larger. So it's better in low light, it's a faster lens, but it's slow focusing, and the battery doesn't last as long. And then I upgraded to this, which is a Lumix Panasonic, I don't know what model number this is. But so you know, people complaining, you know, about the noise on the microphones and whatever, so I bought a Rode mic for the camera, and I had to get a camera with an input for it. And again, this is a digital SLR, so you know, interchangeable lenses. So I've got a couple of lenses, but I haven't got the decent, you know, standard one. I've just got this zoom one, so again, that's going to slow the performance down, especially low light and focusing. But it's what I've got. It's what I've got at the moment. So it's quite exciting actually to do this. I'm not going to use this one, but I'm going to take this one, because if this one falls off the boat on the outside of the boat, I'm not going to be as annoyed as if this one does. And this one can be for, like, you know, off-boat, landscape, tripod mount, you know, good stuff like that. I've only got two mounts as well. I've got this old Polaroid one, see how old that is. And then I've got this one here. So a lot of these mounts would be, you know, left overnight for days on end on top of boats and stuff, but they've survived remarkably well. And this is handy, by the way, a little tripod like that just to hand hold. And this is cool. This is a battery bank, you know, but it's also a hand warmer. See, she'd have bought this. So when you're out, you know, doing video work, photography and stuff, you can use this to recharge some batteries if you need to, or just keep your hands warm. So that's a really handy little thing. It's an actual USB heater. It's not just the battery gets warm. And very decent battery pack with 2 outputs at 2 amps, fully charged. Bunches and bunches of cables, loads of action cam stuff, but no action cams. Well, I've got this one here, but I haven't got the mount for it, and I haven't got the charger or anything for it. But this was what featured Brinks Royale, Surling and Brawl dropping underwater. So yeah, that was that one. So right, that's annoying though, because I can go to a supermarket and buy them, but I hate buying SD cards, and this is off the internet because they're so bloody expensive. And you know that you can just go on Amazon and get exactly the same one for a lot cheaper, but I might have to, because I can't really do very much with a 32GB card. Right, onwards. So here we are, back behind the wheel of the boat. It's 3:35 in the afternoon, and just down here is the turning for Wayford. We are carrying on though to Paddy's Lane probably again. It was a nice mooring last night. So yeah, the reason why, just to recap, I've done this video is a kind of diary of the day, because last night I did a video on YouTube and said, this sucks, we're going into lockdown. There's people that have had their holidays cancelled. There's people who own boats that are not able to get to their boats. And my goodness, look at that, it's a Richardson's boat, another boat on the move, amazing. We're going into a 4-week lockdown. I don't think it's going to be 4 weeks. Michael Gove's come out and said it could go on for longer. I think it will. I'm looking probably at 6 weeks as an estimate. So it is going to suck. I don't think we really appreciate how much it's going to suck, because we think back to how it was before, and that was a long time ago. And we've had so much water under the bridge since then. And, you know, it is what it is. So if I can get some nice footage of the Broads, you know, really quiet and serene, that'll be great. And that's the purpose of the next 3 days. Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday I'm going to try and capture the essence of the Broads. I'm not sure the weather's going to be in my favour. It'd be lovely to get some amazing sunrises, or, you know, I don't know, wildlife activity and things like this. But I don't know. We will see. It might all fall apart. But I've got my cameras, I've got myself, I'm stocked up, and that's the main thing. So I'm going to end it here, and if you see this video, then this will kind of be the first part of the first instalment of whatever I manage to capture. Also, I just want to have a last little clasp of freedom before I can't do this any longer, and going to be confined